Hai, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Ummi Aliah binti Abdul Kadir, the moderator for today's forum discussion. We are very lucky today to have our honorable panels together with us to discuss about today's topic, which is Malaysians is not picky of a job. Low salary is the problem. So, let me introduce you the first panel for today, Dr. Hasmida binti Hussin, a lecturer of Human Resources Management. How are you, Doctor?
I'm fine, thank you.
Our second panel, Mrs. Sofiyah Izzah binti Roslan, an Assistant Manager of International Economics and Industry. How are you, Mrs. Sofiyah?
Alhamdulillah, I am fine, thank you.
Next, our third panel, Puan Sri Safera Irani binti Gani, Alliance Ghani, the Government Executive of Department of Statistics Malaysia. Welcome. How are you, Puan Sri?
I am fine, thank you.
And our last panel for today, let's welcome Datuk Wan Arina binti Wan Idris, the Executive of Ministry of Human Resources. Welcome. How are you, Datuk?
I'm fine, thank you.
So, our topic for today, Malaysians is not picky of a job. Low salary is the problem. It's clearly referred to the factor of unemployment in Malaysia. The economists describe unemployment as a jobless within an economy, which lack of utilization of resources and eats up the production of economy. According to the Asian Post article, there are 600,000 jobs and 200,000 graduates. But why is Malaysia still facing such a huge issue with graduates unemployment? So, Dr. Hasmida, can you share with us your opinion on the factors of unemployment actually?
Okay, thank you for the question. According to the Department of Statistics 2016 in December, the number of unemployed rose to 478,100 compared to 453,300 in the earlier month. Furthermore, last year, the unemployed is a total of 432,100 and the labour force participation rate came in at 67.8% in December, up from 67.7% in November. However, World Bank finds that in 2012, almost 1 per 5 degree holders below the age of 25 were unemployed. So actually, there are many other factors that influence unemployment. Foreign workers at competitors for the local graduates. In Malaysia, there is a huge demand for the skilled jobs, and the foreign workers are brought in to fill the required jobs. Okay. Moreover, there are more than 1.7 million foreign workers in Malaysia as of 30 June 2017. Graduates who have different majors want to get a job at the same time. Their job searching can have different outcomes depending on the demand of the market.
As far as I know, there are some fresh graduates that are still being choosy and demanding for higher salary, although they have a lot more to be improved. So, what is your opinion about this, Doctor?
Okay, I think that the lack of excellence is one of the factors that leads to the unemployment problem among the Malaysian graduates. So, other than that, I think that the graduate also lack the suitable skills and qualification which required by the industry. Fresh graduate also lack of applicability skills, poor understanding of the English language and communication skill, and also they are too choosy about the job, and at the same time they are demanding for a higher salary.
Thank you, Dr. Hasmida, for the great sharing. So, actually, there are various factors of unemployment. From what have been explained by Dr. Hasmida, it can be concluded that having good grades did not assurance the employment of fresh graduates in Malaysia. Therefore, the graduates must have good command in English and other soft skills such as leadership, intelligence, analytical thinking, and so on to get higher possibility to be hired. Moving on to our next panel, Mrs. Sofiyah, do you agree with Dr. Hasmida's statement that some Malaysians are being picky over jobs and demand for higher salary? Can you share with us your perspectives about this issue?
Thank you to the moderator, Miss Aliah, because give me a chance to speak today. Okay, I think that Malaysian people's not being picky over job, but having a low salary is problem itself. Because as you know, now we are living in developing country, which is it's difficult to survive if high cost of living but having a low salary.
Yes, the cost of living nowadays is indeed quite high, especially to those who live in the city. But can you explain further about this, Mrs. Sofiyah?
According to the central bank, in considerations of workers that having a low wage, which is their employers can give living wage to compensate their employee for their job. What is living wage? Living wage is minimum income for workers to maintain their standard of living. Depends on geographical area. For examples, I think that government have giving their workers cost of living allowance, which is workers that work in city will get higher cost of living allowance comparing to the workers that living in the rural area. Okay, and then according to the chief economist of AM Bank Group, with Anthony Des, which is he give an opinion which when that cost of living will rise, but in rising of wage will be a pressure to the employers. And then according to the executive of research centers, executive of socioeconomic research center, which is Lee Hee-gui, they said that cost of living will remain increased in 2020 and beyond. It's not this a very problem to low income group because they need to spend most of their salaries to pay essential things. For example, they need to pay for home rent, transport, pay for food. Maybe they don't have nothing left, or they just have a little for the saving or their emergency.
Mrs. Sofiyah, is there any other impacts of having low salary from your perspective?
Okay, impacts of having low salary is that some workers that having a low salary need to find part-time job to gain a side income, because you know that now cost of living very higher, so they need to find a part-time job. For example, as teacher, they can do home tuitions, or maybe some workers do an online business as their part-time job. And then, if they do many job instead of their main job, they will get tired because of overwork, and maybe their performance in their main job will decrease. And then maybe some workers didn't get payment on time, so there's very problem for them that they are having a low salary but they don't get the pay on time. So maybe they tend to quit their job and searching for salaries that give searching for a job that give more salary.
Having low salary surely gives a lot of impacts to a person. So, Mrs. Sofiyah, do you think that we can fix this? Is there any ways to overcome the issue of low salary from your perspective?
Okay, ways to overcome a low salary is, first, we need skills. Why skills are very important for us in the futures, in seeking for a job? Because as you know, now this company will hire that persons that have various of skills, because this is a very advantage for people that have various of skills to get better positions in that company, so they will get higher payment with the skills that they have. And then second is, if the employee having a problem in their payments of their salary, because they didn't get a payment on time, or they didn't get a payment as amount as the company promised them, they can go to the Department of Human Resource, because Department of Human Resource is responsible on the workers. So the workers can ask for the Department of Human Resource to explain why the problem occurred, why they didn't get a payment as amount as the company promised, why they didn't get payment on time. And then three, we need a skill, we need experience, because as you know, fresh graduate, especially for fresh graduate, when they want to seeking for a job, they need experience, because because company will prefers someone that have experience in job, because it will help them to adapt with working environment, and they will be resistant to any problem that occur in the working environment. And then as you know, in having the problem of having a low salary, government had take their ways to help the communities that have low salary by giving incentive. For example, that giving incentive to group of B40, which is the persons that have lower income per household, lower than 3,000 and below, that governments will give them incentive, especially when you look when the suddenly COVID-19 occur, that B40 group get a lot of incentive from the government. So everyone take their role. So that is way to overcome. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Sofiyah, for the complete explanation. So, actually, there are many ways to be taken to overcome the issue of low salary, so that it should be less problem in the future. When talking about low salary, Puan Norsyahferra, do you agree with Mrs. Sofiyah's statement that low salary is the problem of unemployment and not because of the Malaysians themselves that being picky over job?
In my opinion, if the unemployment is caused by the low salary, Malaysia have taken an initiative to fix the minimum wage for every type of job. So, I think it should be no problem with the issue.
Why do you think so, Puan Sri? Do you mind to explain further about the application of minimum wages in our country?
The impact of minimum pay implementation. Minimum wage is the lowest remuneration employers pay to employer. According to the governmental legislation, minimum wage policy was long implemented in various parts of the world as a poverty mitigation tool. Other than that, according to efficiency wage theory, which is EWT, it may benefit firms to pay workers a wage higher than their marginal revenue product. The theory proposed that when workers are paid higher wage, it will lead to increase in productivity. Moreover, the researchers which Raleigh and Bond found that upon the introduction of national minimum wage NMW in Britain, low-paying companies responded to the increase in labor costs from minimum wage by increase in the labor productivity. Furthermore, the impact of the pay implementation is minimum wage reform in China forced the least productivity firm to raise their competitiveness. Stronger and higher minimum wage will raise employee salary and hence contribute to employee motivation. Healthier employers attract high quality employees and increase work effort.
Is there any negative impact of the minimum wages, Puan Sri, or is it only gives benefits to the employees?
There are negative effects of minimum wage. Minimum wage policy may negatively affect both the employees and employers. A study conducted in China showed that minimum wage reduced the employment of low-skilled employees. For example, in country of Thailand, 110,000 SMEs was closed down due to minimum wage policy. The same situation may be experienced by our country, which is Malaysia. SMEs too, as their profit margin is around 3% to 5% only, and hard for them to grip the labor cost increase.
So, I think that it is very important for the business operators and the policymakers to better understand the effect of implementation of minimum wages, so that the business operators can improve their business and costing strategy, while the policymakers can introduce better mechanisms to facilitate the small businesses to adapt with changes and ensure the industry sustainability. Let's move to our last panel for today. Dato' Arina, from your perspective, do you agree with what have been discussed by the other panels just now?
Okay, thank you for the question. Actually, I agree with all their opinions. They are true in what they have said, that the issue of PK Malaysians can be fixed.
I am sorry, Dato', but can you share with us what do you mean by the issue of picky Malaysians can be fixed? And can you explain to us if there are any ways to encourage them to have jobs although they will have low salary?
Thank you for the question. So, Prime Minister said that Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad stressed that Malaysians should get their hands dirty by taking up more dirty, dangerous and difficult job, even if means having low wages. And for example, we can look at according to Free Malaysia today, the Prime Minister also said that why the pay might not be great, but low salaries are more better than having no income at all. Although the pay is low, if you don't work, you won't have any income. For the ways to encourage the picky Malaysians to have job, although the salary is low, we can look at from the professional train at university level are the smallest, just a smallest segment of the higher technology labor force, whereas the largest group is a blue collar technician. The technical education system from the technical university college network is a practice oriented by approach preparing students for their profession.
Is there any step that have been taken by the government of Malaysia to encourage Malaysians to have job, although they will have low salary, Dato'?
Yes, there are ways governments take their action towards to encourage Malaysians to have a job. According to MOHR, 80% from graduates from the institute such as ILP, EdTech, GMTI, and CIST are able to confirm to get their job placement just within 3 months after their practical. And government also take action towards this issue by the enhanced vocational capability from the side. The Human Resource Development Fund operates the apprenticeship fund, and this fund or this competency is based on training. And competency-based training is designed to meet the performance standard of the National Occupational Skills Standards.
Thank you for enlightening about that with us, Dato'. It can be concluded that all parties must participate and play a role in improving the issue of unemployment so that the unemployment rate in Malaysia can be reduced. From the overall of today's forum discussions, it can be concluded that the unemployment issue is a serious issue for any economy. It creates negative impacts to the unemployed as they are jobless and suffer from worse prospects to find new job, and to those who are employed feel less secured to keep their job in the future. However, for overall development of economy, the government and the individuals have to take initiative steps in increasing the productivity and improving the standard of living. I think that is all for today. But before we end our forum discussion, I would like to thank all our panels for taking the time to join our forum discussion today. Thank you.